Hello, and welcome to Embrace Her Evolution. This podcast celebrates the limitless power within every woman. I'll be your host, Amanda Aguilar. I'm an Emmy Award-winning TV news reporter, an empowerment speaker, a mental health advocate, and your biggest cheerleader. Together, we'll embrace the twists and turns of life, from personal growth to relationships, career aspirations, and everything in between. If you're trying to level up, if you're ready to rediscover that confidence you lost, if you want to learn how to create a life you love and deserve, then stick around. Embrace Her Evolution will give you the insight and tools to bridge the gap between knowing better and doing better. I am so excited to join you on this incredible journey. So buckle up, babe. It is time to embrace your evolution. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome to part 2 of the 6th episode of Embrace Her Evolution. So part 1 was all about how I started my sober journey, and what I discovered was the main reason behind my drinking, and that was to numb my feelings and avoid facing my problems. And in the end, this only hurt my growth and my healing. I can honestly say it was during my sober journey last year when I experienced immense growth. I am talking like the best way to describe it is that emoji, it's like the graph paper and there's like the little red line and it just like shoots up. Like that is the type of growth I am talking about. In the span of a year, I discovered so many things about myself that would have probably taken longer if I was still drinking. In the span of a year, I gained more clarity on solutions to many problems I was facing. And in the span of the year, the goals I had for myself that I honestly accepted wouldn't come into fruition until like years from now, those goals I had for myself, it became a reality quicker. And I really do credit being on a sober journey. When I post my sober journey on social media, as I mentioned in part 1, people are always asking like what is the hardest part? And most people think it's just staying away from alcohol. And I thought that too before I started my sober journey. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have to avoid alcohol, like I can't drink. But it wasn't until like 4-5 months into it, like into my sober journey, that I realized that was actually the easiest part. The hardest part about your sober journey is facing yourself. So yeah, like this past year was filled with a lot of growth, but it doesn't mean it was easy. Like growth is not easy. It's very uncomfortable. Like it's people sometimes think it's like sunshines and rainbows. Like it gets very frustrating actually to go on social media sometimes and see people post about like the healing journey and your growth journey, and it's like this light and airy aesthetic. And it's like, I don't know what kind of growth you're going through, because my aesthetic is it's not like black and white, but it's dull, muted colors. Like it's very isolating at times when you're going through the growth journey. So like last year, I cried hella. I rage journaled a lot last year. And I truly believe it was all the emotions I pushed down with alcohol throughout the past, 20 plus years. All of those emotions were just releasing from my body because I finally allowed my emotions to do that. If you are sober curious and you're like, okay, Amanda, like, what the hell? I want to start my sober journey, but like, how do I even begin to face myself sober? Well, part of facing yourself sober means processing your emotions, feeling your emotions. And that means actually feeling your emotions. I learned this in a therapy group last year. She called it riding the wave of your emotions. She said that, and I was like, okay, pop off, doc. Like, yes, we love this new way of looking at handling emotions. So, what she said was, when you think of surfers out in the ocean, you never see surfers fight the power of the water, fight the power of the wave. They move with the water, no matter how intense it gets. They just continue to follow that natural tide because they know eventually it will subside, right? And that's essentially what we need to do with our emotions. So last year, I was like really going through it. Life was just like lifing. And don't get me wrong, last year wasn't like awful, like nothing awful happened. I was just overwhelmed as hell, okay? Like work was kicking my butt. News it's a nonstop grind, y'all. It's like go mode all the time. I'm also a multimedia journalist. So when I have stories, I do it all by myself. I'm a one woman band. I'm shooting the interviews and shooting the video footage by myself. I'm writing the story by myself. I'm editing it all by myself. And I do that every day in the span of 3.5 hours. So it definitely has taken a mental and physical toll on me. Like most of last year, I honestly was experiencing burnout, like just absolute exhaustion. And then on top of that, I had hella trips last year, like for bachelorettes, weddings, other events. And yes, I had so much fun on these trips, but my social battery runs out pretty quickly. So, like, even those trips exhausted me. And I never really had like downtime. I didn't really give myself time to like reset and recharge. So I was just exhausted all the time. And then last year, I was also working on this. I was working on my podcast, and that came with a lot of imposter syndrome and self sabotage. Like there was just a lot of mind drama that I was dealing with last year when it came to my podcast. And then, of course, just like showing up in my friendships and my relationship and just the chores around the house, like the little things like that. It was a lot. Last year took a lot of energy out of me. And when I'm at my breaking point, I'm not sure if this is what other people experience, but when I'm at my breaking point and I'm like at the point of complete exhaustion, complete like just stress, my body will want to release that through tears. Like I just want to cry, right? But when it comes to crying, like we were never really taught how to cry. Like if we think back to when we were little, when we'd cry, our parents would yell at us. They'd be like, "Stop crying." Or they'd be like, "Stop crying, only kids cry." And it's like, "I am a kid. Like what am I supposed to do? I am a kid." Or my favorite, my parents used to be like, "Keep crying and watch what happens." And so when they say things like this to us, it just conditions us from a young age to believe that crying isn't safe. So not only did I think crying wasn't safe, I also would catch myself like not validating my emotions, like not validating how I was feeling exhausted and just stressed. I would like think to myself, okay, Amanda, you're in your 30s. You have absolutely no reason to feel this tired. Or I'd be like, Amanda, you live by yourself. Like you have Cooper, yes, but you don't have a kid. You don't have a husband. You don't have all these like family responsibilities. So why are you so tired? And then I would also think, why are you even getting burnt out from work? There are people that have been in the news industry for 30 years, like decades, and you don't see them complaining. So why are you complaining? I had to realize that was just my inner child talking. That was child Amanda who was told rest is for lazy people, crying is not okay. I had to I had to give child Amanda a hug. I had to hug myself. And that's important when you're processing your emotions is first you have to give yourself compassion for feeling those emotions. So for me, I had to tell child Amanda, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to not want to do anything and just be still. And so that helped me let out my tears. It allowed me to cry and sit with my emotions of exhaustion and stress and just cry some more. And a little secret, I love crying in the shower. Like, if you want to feel your best cry, like go in the shower. For me, it's like, are these tears running down my face or is this like the water? Like you never know. But I have my best cries in the shower. And when I allow myself to sit with that sadness, sit with the exhaustion I'm feeling, I'm not even kidding. you can feel it moving through and out of your body. Like no joke. It's a very an interesting sensation like when you first start to process your emotions, when you like start flexing that muscle and like you keep doing it. Gosh, I like if okay, do not judge me for doing this. If I could describe how it feels by using a sound, so if I can make a sound to describe the feeling of your emotions moving through and out your body, this this is what it would sound like. Ah. Like it's like just complete bliss. My friend actually gave me a card on my 1 year sobriety. She gave me a gift and the card said, "Every feeling fully felt is bliss." And it's so true. Like it's total bliss once you sit with that emotion and you let it move through your body and just move out. And what's cool about processing your emotions is that you gain the ability to not let your emotions ruin your day or like weigh you down. I, for one, always had my emotions ruin my day. Like I would just dwell on them and you could tell just in the way I went about my day and like how I interacted with people. But now that is no longer. Like for example, recently I told my girls like, "Oh, I'm sad and I need to go cry." They used to be like, "Oh my god, no, don't cry." I used to be like that. When a friend would be like, "I just want to cry." I'd be like, "No, no, 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 don't cry, don't cry." But now we all understand this concept of processing your emotions, feeling your emotions. So when I said that, when I said, "Oh, I'm sad, I'm going to go cry," they were just like, "Oh, okay, sending you lots of love. We're here if you need us." And then they would just let me go cry and I would go cry. And I'm not even kidding. I would come back into the group chat like, "Oh my gosh, have you guys seen that new episode on Netflix? Blah, blah, blah." Like total 180, right? Like I don't allow my emotions to dwell and ruin my day. And I'm not saying that like the feeling won't ever come back because it will. It definitely will. But I have the awareness now to know what it feels like in my body, how to sit with it, and I even know what can trigger that emotion. And what I've really grown to love about feeling my emotions, I allow my emotions to now guide me. I use it as a guide to figure out what I need more of or what I need less of in life. Going back to my burnout that I was feeling with work, like, and I won't lie, I had a lot of moments of burnout, but each time I think it was my body just asking me to do a little bit more or to do a little less. So now, when I'm off work, I am off work, and this includes weekends. And so this means I'm not checking Slack. I'm not checking emails. I'm not even watching the news on weekends anymore. I don't even go onto my station's website to see what happened over the weekend. Like work is Monday through Friday, and it is 3:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. when I'm off. That is when I do work related stuff. I also have started traveling less back and forth from the Bay. Like, if I have no reason to be going back to the Bay Area, then I'm staying my booty here in Central California because driving 3 hours to the Bay and then driving back to Fresno 3 hours, that caused a lot of my exhaustion as well. I'm also just doing one thing every day after work. Like for example, if I come home, I'll do laundry, and that's all I'll do for the day. The next day I'll come home and I'll like put my clothes away or I'll do groceries. Like I'm just doing one thing every day after work because I realized that before I had like a list of things I needed to get done, and I would stare at that list and be like, "Holy crap, that's a lot of stuff I need to get done." And I would just sit there and then it would be time to go to bed and I didn't get anything done. And then that would just cause me to feel like super overwhelmed. And it's so crazy, that we think drinking will like help us with our problems. Like I would have never come up with those solutions if I was drinking. And this is why it's like honestly so unhealthy to think that drinking relieves stress. I saw, oh my gosh, I don't know what Instagram it was, but it was one of these Instagrams, a sober Instagram that I follow. And it was a post about mommy wine culture and the dangers. And mommy wine culture, it's this like the belief that moms need a glass of wine to handle parenting more, and it is a culture. Like we see it on shirts, it's wine o'clock, or on the wine glasses it'll say mommy sippy cup. Like it's this whole culture, right? But mommy wine culture, I feel like it can be applied to anyone, not just moms. Like we have a booze culture. We have a boozy culture that conditions us to rely on alcohol to handle life challenges, when in the end, all we're doing is avoiding the underlying issue and then being codependent on a substance. And you have to think, if alcohol actually relieved your stress, then why do you have to keep drinking it? Right? Like the math is not mathing. But becoming sober, it really did develop my self-awareness. Like I love asking myself why all the time. Why do I feel a certain way? Why did I react in that certain way? Like I'm just very curious, and I think that once you are able to build self-awareness, you realize how you play a role in everything you experience. And that's what I'm going to say about that. Okay. And I want to get into this next point because I feel like this is definitely something that may keep people from not, exploring life without alcohol. One of my first thoughts when I started my sober journey was, oh my God, are my friends gonna still want to hang out with me? Like, are they still gonna invite me to parties? And the biggest question, am I still going to be fun? To be honest, I had no idea who I was in a social setting without alcohol. And that's because I became so accustomed to believing I needed alcohol in a social setting. I needed alcohol to make something fun. And this is due to a lot of different things. I mean, we can talk about my upbringing. I'm from a Filipino family. I mean, if you're Filipino and you're listening to this, any Filipino party, alcohol is always there. Like we see it. We see our family members drinking alcohol at a young age, and we believe that like we can only have fun if we have alcohol. Like a party isn't a party unless there's alcohol. And then don't even get me started about the marketing of alcohol. You could do a whole freaking TEDx talk on this, but it's always advertised as this like exciting, fun, and important part of any kind of social gathering, right? A football watch party, it's not fun. It's not a football watch party unless there's alcohol. A wedding isn't a wedding if there isn't alcohol. Like summer didn't truly start if you don't have alcohol at the barbecue. And the marketing of alcohol makes us believe that alcohol enhances a social experience. And I mean, yeah, I guess it does for like a little bit. Like alcohol is so temporary. We all know that. Alcohol is very temporary, and the effects that you get from alcohol, it's all short-lived. So yeah, I was very concerned like how am I going to have fun without alcohol, and are my friends, total people pleaser in me, are my friends going to still have a good time around me? But my sober journey taught me I have so much more to offer than the party girl I once was. And I was able to realize that because I had to rediscover who I am. Sobriety gave me the time and energy to find my passions in life, rediscover the passions that I forgot about, like just find what truly makes me happy. So last year, I started dancing more. When I'd go to the Bay, I would take classes. Also, just like learning a dance on TikTok. Like I know it might sound funny, but to me, that makes me happy. Just dancing, music, all of that. That is a passion that I will always have. Also, more and more last year, I really started to realize how much I love helping people, how much I love empowering women. And sobriety gave me the space to be more curious about that passion, to like really lean into it. How can I continue to empower women? How do I follow that passion? And like here we are. Like here we are on Embrace Your Evolution. Like I launched a woman empowerment podcast. Another part of rediscovering who I am was defining what fun actually meant, especially in a social setting. Early in my journey, I remember talking to someone about how I was going to be starting a sober journey. And they like asked, well, will you still drink for like a celebration? Like, if it's like a happy event, are you still gonna drink? Because like technically you're not drinking for like the negative reasons. And I was just like, huh. Like I don't even know how I answered it at that time. Like she had me stumped because I was like, well, yeah, I mean, why couldn't I drink if it's like a happy reason? Why couldn't I drink if it's a celebration? But again, see how we have become so dependent on alcohol to help us feel things? Oh, you're sad? Numb it with alcohol. Oh, you're happy? Celebrate it with alcohol. I had to realize that there were other things that made a celebration fun to me. Like it was never about the alcohol. A celebration was fun to me because I was around people I love and care about, or I got to meet new people and make new connections. Like that was fun to me. A celebration was fun to me because I was sharing a big milestone with people I love. That's fun to me. A celebration is freaking fun if they have a good DJ and they're playing slapping music that I can sing and rap to and dance my butt off to. That is fun to me. So I realized the celebration wasn't fun because of the alcohol. It was because of the people I was with, the experience that I was, experiencing, the dancing, the singing. Like that was all fun. I shifted the focus away from alcohol, and then I was able to really enjoy myself in all social settings. And I'm talking all social settings. I feel like the universe heard that I was going to do a sober journey and was like, "Oh, you want to see if you can actually have fun in all social settings? Here's all these weddings you have to go to. Here's all these bachelorettes you have to go to. Here's Vegas that you have to go to." And I did all of that. I went to all of those trips and I was freaking sober. I went to a wedding for one of my boys, and it was so fun to me because I was with my friends. We were celebrating love. I love love. We were celebrating love between two people, and I had fun because I was dancing. I was the last person on the dance floor, okay? All my friends, they were wasted and they were tired, and I was the last one on the dance floor with hella energy still, and that's on alcohol as a depressant. But we're not going to get into that. But okay, but you see what I mean? Like I had so much fun at this wedding because I was dancing, I was around people that I love. And then let's not even get into my cousin's bachelorette, okay? This was a music festival, Splash House. It's a EDM festival in Palm Springs. Had the time of my life and I was sober. And it was special to me because this was my cousin. We grew up together, and so to be older now and like to see her engaged and about to get married, like that was special to me. Like sharing that moment with her was special to me. It was fun because I got to meet her friends who are like such a good time. I love them. And the best part about the weekend is that I remembered it. Like this was definitely a weekend I did not want to black out at. Like I wanted to remember this special moment with my cousin. And that was fun to me. I had so much fun at all these events, not because of the alcohol, but because of the people, because of the music, because I got to dance. Like I had to redefine what fun meant to me. And when I realized that fun didn't mean alcohol, then I was like, okay, I can go to anything without alcohol and still have fun. Another part of the sober journey and just like facing yourself is building self-confidence. I think that's like really really important. And every day I went without drinking, that was like an instant confidence boost because each day I was showing myself, I was proving to myself I can stick to something and I can do hard things. Because remember, back in part one, I said the reason why I did dry January is just to challenge myself, to show myself that I can do hard things. So every day when I was going without alcohol, I was like, see, there you go. There you go. You can do it. You can do this. If you're like, okay, how does my confidence connect with like alcohol? Well, let's dig into that because a lot of people turn to drinking to make them feel at ease in social situations, like just make them feel a little less awkward, right? That liquid confidence. I was definitely one of those people. Building confidence requires embracing you, embracing all parts of you. For me, that looked like separating my identity from what I do, which is TV news. I had to remind myself that I'm not just a TV news reporter. Oftentimes, and this is my personal opinion, I can't speak on behalf of all reporters. I feel that this industry, and there are still people in this industry that make it seem like you have to fit in this box. Like you have to act a certain way so people can look at you as professional and as credible. It also like has made me feel that I have to eat and breathe news. Like I have to dedicate every hour that I'm awake to this job. And if I don't, I'm not a hardworking journalist. So for most of my career, I felt like I couldn't explore other parts of myself. And let me tell you, I am a multifaceted queen. Like, I have a lot of parts to myself. Yes, I am a news reporter, but I'm also a dog mom. Like, I am a huge mental health advocate. I have a very quirky personality. Like, if if you've ever hung out with me and like you know me, I can be like random. I'm a child at heart, you know? And for a long time, I hid that because I thought being quirky, being, this childlike energy, I thought it was too much. And I actually had a manager call me immature because of that. So I toned down this part of me. Anything that could be perceived as childlike, like I wouldn't do it. But my quirkiness, my childlike spirit, that is something I've honestly always loved about myself. That's what makes me unique. Like, get you a girl that can do both. I can deliver you news about some serious topic and I'll go home and record a scene from Harry Potter. Like I'm not like I'm not even kidding. If you go on my Instagram, I recorded a scene from Harry Potter with a invisibility cloak. Like I am learning to embrace my inner child again. And that includes making dance videos. For a while I stopped posting dance videos because there were some people in this industry that believe news reporters, news anchors should not be dancing and not be recording videos of them dancing. But I don't care. I'm back to doing that now. Also, I will say when I started my self-love journey, I have become like just so dedicated to growth. I love talking about my healing journey. I love being vulnerable and sharing my story to empower people. For a while, I was like I feel like I kind of hid back a little. Like I would share but like not too much because I didn't want to seem too much. Like I didn't want to seem too much. I didn't want people to be thinking, "Oh my god, like she is so weird or she's doing the most," you know? But I realized that is what makes me me. That is something that lights me up and I embody that love for self-development by attending conferences, attending workshops. I have really embraced all parts of this big personality that I have. All of those things make me me. And that strengthened my confidence. Because I was so confident and happy with who I am, loving myself has become so much easier. My love for myself, and I'm talking love for every part of myself, my love for myself is so deep. I do not care what other people think about who I am, what I do, how I act, what I say. I am so confident in this version of me I don't need liquid confidence anymore to feel like a good time. I know I'm a good time, and that is my biggest flex. I can enjoy myself without alcohol. I can have the time of my life without alcohol. And oh, this might stink. This might trigger some people, but if it does, I ask you to sit with that and ask yourself why. But if you need alcohol to have fun, then you might actually be using the alcohol to overcompensate for a dull personality. Oh my gosh. But hear me out, hear me out. Do I think everyone who needs alcohol is boring? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do not think they have a boring personality, but I believe they think if I'm sober, that means I'm boring. And alcohol is a way to escape. Alcohol is an escapism. Alcohol is a way to escape from said boring personality. And I say this because I used to think I was boring without alcohol. But that's only because I was so disconnected from my authentic self. I forgot who I was. I forgot all the amazing things that makes Amanda Amanda. But once I deepened my self-love and I developed even more confidence, bruh, I can't even imagine going back to drinking thinking it will make me fun because I am what makes me fun. My ability to connect with people and have meaningful conversations, and not to mention I can carry a convo. That makes me fun. My humor is what makes me fun. My love to dance like no one's watching, that makes me fun. The fact that I don't take myself hella seriously makes me fun. I am the whole package and then some. And that confidence comes from within. That type of confidence, you can't find that in a damn bottle. Oh my God. I think that was like, was that like a mic drop moment? I feel like that was a mic drop moment. And I'm going to leave it at that because I don't know how to beat that, honestly. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up. Overall, my sober journey has truly been amazing. I said this in part 1. But in sobriety, you don't lose anything. You gain so much more from it. And I'm just like patting myself on the back because I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself because I truly am pouring into my growth. And I love that. That's the best gift I could ever give to myself. And I want that for everyone. I also just like want to show love to my friends because you have to have a good support system on a sober journey. Not once did I ever feel pressured by any of them. When I first told them, I was doing a sober journey, they were a little taken back, like, what the heck? But I explained why, and they all understood my why. One last thing I will add though, if you want to start a sober journey and your friends are not about it, they gotta go. They gotta go. The people who want you drunk are the people who benefited from you being wasted. I'm gonna say that again. The people who want you drunk are the people who benefited from you being wasted. So, yeah, the people you want in your life are the people who want the best for you. And that's what I got to say about that. So, anyways, I hope this episode was super helpful to all of y'all, especially if you've been sober curious. There's so much more I could say about my sober journey, honestly, but just timing wise. But if you have any questions, please, 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 please reach out to me because I love talking about my sober journey. I love sharing my experience and my insight. And again, thank you all for listening to this episode of Embrace Her Evolution, and I'll see y'all next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to Embrace Her Evolution. If you loved this episode, or maybe you have a few more questions, feel free to hit me up about it. I have my email in the episode description. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for my email list. This will keep you up to date on everything Embrace Her Evolution. Plus, it will give you access to some free worksheets. Right now, I'm offering a jealousy map worksheet. I talk about this in episode 3. So if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it now. It will help you use the feeling of jealousy as a map to your desires. I truly believe a way to embrace your evolution is by sitting by yourself and doing reflection, and these worksheets will help you get started. Once again, you can find a link to that in the episode description. You'll also find my Instagram there. I love, love, love connecting with people, so make sure you give me a follow. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your evolution.